Hey everyone, welcome back again. Time for another video. It's been a while. Oh man, at least a month. So, here's what I'm working on. I'm working on the ARTEMIS Space Launch System. Yep, this set right here. And what is it? 10341, 3,601 pieces. So, I started already. I wasn't for sure if I was going to make a video, but then I thought, this thing's going to launch pretty soon, and I wanted to make a video in kind of conjunction with it here. So I was about 9 bags in, and I was like, all right, I'll go ahead and make this video. So at this point right now, you're seeing the base of the launch tower here. Not really much on the outside. Mainly it's all underneath. Just a lot of support structures, bricks, and things like that. So, my idea is just to kind of get it started here. And then come back and maybe do like every so many bags. Maybe like every 5 or 10. Just to see, excuse me, how it goes. But just like right now, it's a lot of repetitive things. We're putting this together. Once I got to the plates, I was like, oh, this is going really fast. But, so I expected to slow down here in just a little bit. There's, like I said, a lot of little pieces. What else can I say about this, in the first stages of it? No pun, right? Anyway, so, yeah, I'm going to put this together kind of to commemorate, there we go, spit it out there, the launching of this rocket. And this one here is going to go to the moon, and they're going to do a merry-go-round and then come back. I'm not for sure if they're going to go around all the way once or just kind of go around halfway into the backside and come back. But it's just the idea that there is 4 astronauts. I think there's one woman, 3 men who are in this mission to go. So, yeah, this is for them. And hopefully they'll have a safe trip to the moon and then get back safely. And then that'll be like the first part. And then I think they're doing like an Artemis 2, Artemis 3, more missions later on, which is really awesome. Because I was a small kid when the Saturn V and they went to the moon, all the Apollo missions. I was like 4 or 5 years old. But I do remember in 1969, I was 4 years old, sitting around with my parents and brothers and sisters watching a black and white TV of the Apollo mission going to the moon. So I didn't think I'd see it in my lifetime, but here it is. They're going back, which is really amazing. All right, well, I'm rattling on, so I'm going to go ahead and go, and then I'll just come back with the next 5 bags. All right. Okay, finally made it to bag number 15. Just finished putting it together. For you watching this, it's just a transition from where I started on the first 5 or whatever bags I was on. I think I went from 5 to 10. But believe me, this is about 4 or 5 hours worth of time just to get it to this point. And I'll just point out a couple things. I mean, so far, I'm having fun with it. But 2 things. Well, not bad. Just a lot of repetitive pieces. Repetition, right? And let's see what else. Just, I don't say they're bad. It's just, you just got to take your time with it for sure. I said this many a time before, having it over here on the iPad, using it that way. And I mentioned before, I used the Goodreader app. It's way more responsive, for going through it than it is just using the PDF file that you download. So you take it, you download it, you open it in the Goodreader. I think it's free. I can't remember, or I had to pay something for it. But anyway, that is what I use over here. But back to this, as I was saying, because, I just want to point this out. It's really great when you need to zoom in on seeing certain things, like that are really tiny little details. And you want to keep your orientations of say here, of this structure of this, the way that the pieces go together, because they actually, how can I put it? They go a certain way because they have to turn and tweak a certain way. And if you put them together the wrong way, then they won't tweak like they should. For example, like right here, if you can see this, this is leaning inward, right? But the length of one side is slightly longer than the other, okay? You see the extra piece right here? So it pushes it up over here. So if you put it on the wrong side, see how this one is? It's over, because it's supposed to make it look like the way the support is, the way it all fits together. So yeah, you gotta really pay attention to the orientation of the pieces. What else? The only thing I could say that I wish I wouldn't have done, and if anybody's built this, or if you're ever going to, these little bad boys right here, okay? There's 88 of them, 88. Yeah. So what happens is you knock them off because you're twisting it, you're moving it, you're turning it. You got to really go all these different directions. Excuse me. But I probably knocked at least 10 of those off of there, and I put them back on. I was going, well, maybe I just leave them off. I was like, nope, put it back on before I lose them. So, yeah, those probably could have waited till the very end. I mean, when you look at the picture on the box, it's the same thing. They're out there by themselves, really. So, well, for the most part, yeah. I think those probably could have waited, way early on. They were, but they could wait till the very end. That would be the only thing I would say is problematic. But beyond that, I'm not really having any problems with it. I mean, you got to be careful when you grab and turn, of course, because like little things down here will pop off. But I probably should have this on like a turntable type of thing, but I'm just being diehard and doing it the old-fashioned way. Just spin, slide, grab, knock pieces off, that whole thing. So, okay, well, bag 15 is where I just got done doing, like I said. I'm going to do bags 16 through 20 now. And then that should put me, I think 16 through 20 gets you done, from what I can tell, with the platform and the tower. And then the 21 through 27 is the rocket itself. I mean, realistically, in comparison to, if you can see that over there, to the Saturn V, Saturn V has way more, how can I say, construction or putting it together is involved with that one. A lot more pieces, where this one, it doesn't look as many as you would think, So maybe that's it. It's just that the rocket has less pieces. It's not as complicated as the Saturn V. But either way, I will say this. You can see the Saturn V over there has the tower, the red tower. That is a non-Lego version. Getting the actual Lego, if I could get it, I would. But buying that individually, piecing it out, it would be a godly amount of money. I'm going, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to spend that much money for the tower when it just sits there. One other thing, I do have the track platform that goes up underneath. I got one of those. Another non-Lego version. Eventually I'll get the Lego versions, but then again, the amount of pieces, the amount of pricing, sometimes it's just realistic to make it more and get the ones that are non-Lego versions, unfortunately. I mean, if I can get the pieces a little bit cheaper, I would and do it that way, but at this point, I'm just going to go that route for now, because it's not what I do a lot of times. Sometimes I'll buy the non-Lego version just to see if I actually want to get the Lego version at all. And then what I'll do is I'll turn around and get the Lego version. But, so I plan on putting the tracks underneath the platform of the Saturn V. And then I got those sitting here behind me in a box still. And then I'm going to order another set of tracks to put underneath of this one, because I just think it really makes it when you have the track, for it to transport it from the building to the launch pad. Anyway, okay, I'm rambling on, but so starting out for bag 16, and I'll come back with the next transition for 5 years later for me, and maybe not even 0.5 seconds for you. Okay, see you then. And just like that, we went from what it was before into this. Yep, here's the ARTEMIS tower, and I just finished bag 20. Pretty much, it's like I said earlier, the first 20 bags or so are made of the platform and the tower. And then, because I see the colors of the rocket coming up over there in the bags, I think it starts on 22, because 21's there. It's like these little all the tubings that would go up to supply, I guess, different things. But so what can I say real quick about this? That I haven't already said. A lot of repeating of it. But there are some kind of cool things of it. Like here, this is the whole, the apparatus that is for installing all the different things. I'm trying to do this handheld, and so it gets a little shaky on the camera. But, so you move this one knob here, and it moves everything in and out. You see there? Okay, and then the crew portion that goes over is this. I read in the manual there that Lego created this new part right here. It's like a 2x2 piece just for the specific build of this rocket. I think there's some other pieces there, I'm not sure. But it's kind of unique how they went and did some certain things, you know, make this work. So now it's just a matter of getting it well, married up with the rocket. Get the rocket on here. The only thing I can say is, to me, it seems like it has a lean, you know, over towards the center. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it just looks like it needs to go to the right a little bit. And I think where that lean is coming from is like on these knuckles here, because of the weight of the arm up here, right there, and these extra portions on the left, just making it set a little bit off balance. I think once the rocket's on there, and then all the extensions here, they would make it look balanced. So not really a big deal, but it's just something I noticed, how those knuckles can play out on that, you know, the way it sets. But beyond that, believe it or not, I didn't knock any more of these off the whole time. I guess I learned to keep my hands and arms above the little thingies. And I even had to put my tray table up. So, all right, here it is. The ARTEMIS Tower, or the whole launch system really is what it's called. And I can get back to it. And I'll come back at like bag 25, 26. All right, see you then. All right, once again, got 5 more bags done. So I am at bag number 26 and 27 to go. And this is right after 25. Basically, those I think 21 was where I ended the last video here. It basically dealt with all the piping all the way up through here. Okay. And some of these little, I think these are supposed to be like the water sprayer things, the jets like they have down there to help when it takes off, like they had in the Apollo one. I believe. I have to look at that. What else? So, yep, and then you got that's where I was at, the red piping here that's going up, okay? And then there was the structural supports here. And that was pretty much it for the base and the tower. And then it started with the rocket itself, the main rocket, and then that was on like 22, and here it is over to the side of me, and I was about to cover it up completely. All right, so here's a little bit of a spoiler alert. Spoilers. Yeah, okay, so here's the rocket on the inside. Basically, you build your bricks into like squares, and then you start with one side, and then you make another side, add more of the bricks in there, and then eventually you do your second and then third side, which is where I'm at right here. Okay, third side's there, and then your fourth side is a little less of, you know, what it is for the first 3 sides as far as the way the bricks lay out. So at this point, I'll try to do this. This is this last side here. There was one decal right there. That was the first one I put on, or sticker. There are more stickers to put on, but I think mostly those go on the hold on, oh no, where are they? The boosters, the white boosters you see on the back there. I think it's what a lot of them are. I'm sure there's more that goes on the rocket, mainly it looks like on the top. But so yeah, you just put this on, and then you put your top section on there. And sorry about the shaky cam, but I know doing this video's quick and dirty. So yeah, there it is with the 4 engines. So now, it start out with what, 26 and 27. So this is going to take care of the top, and then the boosters that go along the sides, and that should wrap it up for it. And I'll come back and just finish that. I didn't have any problems with the rocket whatsoever. I thought it was kind of a nice little build there. Well, I'm going to say I got confused a couple times and put these brown and orange bricks in the wrong places a couple times, and then I had to pull a bunch of them back off, and I was like, oh man, just if you mess up on one, it's going to throw it all off. So you got to make sure you put them on there in the order they go. Then, that's like I always said, I covered about the tower and all that. I didn't really have any more problems beyond what I said earlier in the video. Yeah, I think that's about it. And then, all right, so let me jump off and then come back, and after I'm done with bag 27, like I said, and then that'll wrap it up. And then I'm going to figure out what I'm going to build next. Not sure yet. I'll tell you at the end. Well, here it is, folks. Tell you what, bags 26 and 27 took forever. So it was basically, the 26 and 27 was the top of the rocket here, and then the boosters over here on the sides. But putting that together was fun, because on both of them I got like almost done with it. Then I realized, oh no, I left these little pieces off, like right here, these little barrel pieces. On one of them I left them off, and I was all the way up to here, and I had to like take every one of these back off and then put them back on. And then over on this one, right, I put it all together, had it all the way completed. And then I was like, wait, why do I have an extra one of these here? It's like the wheel. Well, there is supposed to be 3 white ones right here. I only had 2. So I had the whole thing together, and look over here on the table, and there's 1 white wheel left there. I was like, wait, what is this? And then I realized, so I had to pull every one of these back off and put it back together. The only other thing I think is just the amount of stickers. I mean, it's not really that bad, but there's some of them are really small to kind of get them on. I still use the tweezers and get them on there straight. What else? Let's see. Inside of the top here, there is a satellite. That would be inside of here. They have it where you can display it if you want on the outside of the rocket. They also give you a display sign here. This one just gives you information about it. And then what else? Oh yeah, underneath the rocket, there's like these little kind of like square half triangle type of things down in here. Well, the ones in the middle, I think you can see them right there. I had them backwards. So when I set the rocket on there, it wouldn't go down in. I'm like, why is this not going down in? Pull the rocket back off, and then realized that they were backwards, all 4 of them. So I spin them around, and so it barely goes down in there just a little bit, okay? You can see where the rocket motors are underneath the boosters there, like right here. And it just goes down there just enough for the rocket motors to set down in there. And then, so yeah, and then you have it where there's the black spiral looking thing that comes up in the middle where the 4 rocket motors there would set around it. Kind of supports it. And then what holds it up here is this one this double arm type thing here. So beyond that, I think that's about it. I mean, overall, it was fun to put it together. It was. It took a while. I spent like 2 days on it. You know, not like solid 2 days, but enough time to say probably about 10 to 12 hours on it, maybe total, if I add it all up. And I don't know how many choice words I said, you know, when I had mistakes. But like I said in the early part of this video, you really have to pay attention to putting the pieces on. Because you make one little mistake, you're going to be taking a lot back apart, depending on where it's at, of course. But yeah, like I said, I made some on the rocket. I made some on the tower. Yeah, there was one part of the tower, I think, I can't remember, but I had to come all the way down to, take it completely apart, all the way down to here somewhere. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe it was like 6 tiers that I had to take back off because I missed something. I don't remember what it is now, but I was like, what did I? Oh, you know how it is whenever you're working on a set and you get in that zone and you're like, oh, I think I got everything going great. And then you realize, oops, made a mistake. Anyway, well, that's it. That's the ARTEMIS Space Launch System and its glory. So, okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Star Wars, the Dark Falcon. That's what I got sitting behind me. I think I'm going to put that together next. But in the meantime, thank you for coming back and watching the videos. I know it's been a while since I put some on here, but I've been having lots of health issues. And yeah, it's not even fun anymore. But so it's like I got shaky cam going on here. All right. I think that's it for now. Thanks for joining us here at the Brick Elders channel. See you on the next one.